Yep.
Welcome into the Gridiron Grind live post-game show. Dallas Cowboys squander an opportunity to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They lose, what was it? It's a tough one, Jimmy. It's a tough one to
Yeah.
take.
And Dak actually played pretty well. He did a lot better than I think people thought. CD had a big game. Ferguson finally showed up. I think we need to put out a silver alert on Brandon Cooks. Michael Gallup can't make an easy catch, but boy, he can make a hard catch, can't he? He made a couple of those coming down the pipe, and man, it just ball just didn't bounce our way, man. We had every opportunity to win. The touchdown to the tight end Schoonmaker was called back. The stepping out of bounds on the 2-point conversion, just little stuff, man. That's why they say it's a game of inches. Just disheartening. That's a punch in the gut, because we had it, like you said, every opportunity to win. Philly even helped us with these penalties, and then 27 seconds inside the 20, we get a sack and delay a game. And I also didn't like the let's hurry up and snap it and just chunk it in the end zone. I mean, were we just trying to see if we could get another penalty? Because I like to clock it and have some sort of structure to what we're doing, but I don't know. I don't know
Yeah, I
anymore,
don't
man.
know. I don't know what the right answer is. Honestly, you can't take a sack. You can't get
No.
sacked. Terrence Steele, like the game we had. First of all, it's down to the 5-yard line or whatever it was because they jumped off sides, 6-yard line. First and goal from the 6, Jimmy. 30 seconds, eternity. I know we didn't have any timeouts, but you had 4 chances at the end zone. And not only that, we lose yards. We don't even, so frustrating when you think about it. First and goal from the 6 with like 27 seconds. And we end the game on 3rd and 30 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sack. We got a false start and a sack.
And the route tree, I mean, I know it gets congested down there in the red zone, blah, blah, blah. But why are we running a route that is anything but in the end zone? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why was CD, okay, you're going to break in. I'm like, if you're going to do that, have somebody underneath you can lateral to.
Yeah.
Do something. Otherwise, be in the end zone.
Yep. I agree. You got to be in the end zone or you got to do a lateral play. I mean, if there would have been somebody right there for CD to lateral it to,
it'd been over.
But
also,
hard to get that
like, yeah, don't run it that deep. If you're going to go, okay, this route's going to be short of the end zone, give him more space. Like, make it, run it shorter than that. Then you've got guys, maybe you can cross up with the lateral kind of, the pitch play, whatever you want to do. But instead it was like he was basically ran right up on the defense. The defense basically said, I'm planting here on the goal line. And he ran right in front of him, and the defense didn't have to come very far to engage him. And so just frustrating, man. I thought we were done. And then I thought, oh, dude, we're going to do this. And then, of course, we didn't.
Well, we had every opportunity to. The second half, we just played terrible the second half.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say terrible. We got outplayed in the second half. The Eagles, we had, 17-14 lead at halftime, and Eagles just won the second half. They scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
In the second half, we got 1 and a field goal. No, actually, we just scored a touchdown. Scored 1 touchdown in the second half. And then, of course, went for 2. Dak steps out. Think about that. That changed the whole game. Dak stepping out of bounds. If Dak stays in bounds, we get that 2-point. We can take a sack. Okay, well, at least we can tie it and go to overtime.
Yep. And I just, it's the little stuff like that, that you need to go your way to win games. Doesn't happen every week, but when it happens, you really need. You look at teams of destiny, teams that even just teams that win the Super Bowl. Um, Little stuff like that just seems to go their way, and just didn't go our way tonight.
No,
But yeah.
it didn't. I mean, I'm looking at the stats. The difference was the line of scrimmage. They won the line of scrimmage.
Hmm.
We gave up 5 sacks. Well, Terrence still gave up 3 of them. I know at least he might have given up more.
I think it was 4.
So we only had 3 sacks. So they got more sacks, and they had more rushing yards. They had
Hmm.
109 rushing yards to our 73. So that was the difference. They won the line of scrimmage today, and that's why they won. I mean, we said CeeDee Lamb had to have a huge game. He did. 11 catches for 191 yards.
Hmm.
I mean, he outperformed A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, 7 catches, 66 yards.
Yep. And
I mean, if you'd have told me
and then go back to the butt fumble 2.0 that never
get
worked.
that. I mean,
If we get that, that's a big. I mean, that's huge. Then Philly's having to, you assume we score. So Philly's either trying to get in the field goal range, or if we score a touchdown somehow, Philly's trying to drive down and score. And, maybe it ends up the other way. Just the stuff, just add it to the list. Like I said, stuff that just doesn't go your way. Gallup wide open on that crossing route. Can't catch it. But Gallup with a guy on both arms, can catch the ball. Did it twice. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. The Eagles did not have a turnover. They fumbled it 3 times and recovered all 3 fumbles.
Yep.
We fumbled twice, lost the 1. So, I mean, they won the turnovers, a lot of scrimmage. They got more sacks, able to run the football better. I mean, Dak outplayed Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But all for naught. Eagles win 28-23 in Philadelphia. And if we didn't have, if we wouldn't have lost to the Cardinals, it'd be like, okay, we're only a game behind them. We still play them again. But that's
Right.
what makes it. I think the Eagles are definitely beatable, and they're going to lose a couple of games. I mean, they find a way to win close games every week. I mean, they got a pretty decent schedule coming up. So I think they're going to lose a couple. But I just don't know if the Cowboys – the Cowboys have got to be almost perfect the rest of the season. And I don't see that happening.
We got to play mistake-free football every time we take the field from here on out till the season's over, whatever game number that may be. We can't play like we did tonight. I mean, numbers wise, sure, but then like you said, unable to run the football, giving up sacks, not being able to get to the quarterback, and we're losing the turnover game. If you show me a team that wins the line of scrimmage and wins the turnover game, I can usually show you who's going to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Cowboys lose to the Eagles 28-23. You're listening to the Grind Live post-game show as Cowboys fall to the Eagles. Who we got next week? Giants. Giants are terrible. Then we got the Panthers, then the Commanders on Thanksgiving. And then we got a tough sledding of games. So the next 3 we should win, unless we have a Cardinal situation again.
Mm-hmm.
Giants at home, at Panthers, Commanders at home, Thanksgiving. And then you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next 5 games. It's Seattle at home, Eagles at home, Bill at Buffalo, at Miami, Lions at home. And that's tough sledding.
Yeah. There's a chance to lose all of those. The most winnable game on paper right now is Seattle.
Yeah, but, I mean, we're better than Seattle, but they're a playoff team. At least it's at home.
And that's going to be a tough one.
Here's who the Eagles got. Their kind of stretch started. Of course, they had the Dolphins 2 weeks ago, but their stretch kind of started this week. They host the Cowboys. They're at the Chiefs next week. They host the Bills. They host the 49ers. Then they're at the Cowboys, at the Seahawks. But then, so that's their stretch because then their last three, they finish hosting the Giants, hosting the Cardinals, at the Giants.
Mm,
So,
that must be nice.
yeah, they finish easy. But, so they have 6 games in a row against, playoff caliber teams,
Hmm.
and they're 1-0. So the Cowboys, they got their next three. They got to take care of business. And who knows? If we could win our next three, and the Eagles maybe drop 2 of their next 3 against some of those teams, at the Chiefs next week, it's very possible. Even if they just lose 1, and we win our next 3 time we play them again, we'd have an
Hmm.
opportunity to have the same record. So
Yep.
this one stings though because it was a very winnable game.
Yeah.
Very winnable game.
Just
So,
couldn't. It's kind of snake bit type stuff, man. When nothing's going your way, and you have those days where you're like, I'm just gonna climb back in bed. We're just gonna start this
yeah.
again tomorrow. The way the stuff's going. Get out of bed, stub your toe, dog pooped in the floor, you step in it, then you fall over and break the urn with great Gam's ashes in it. It's on the floor. You just go, you know what? I'll wash my foot off, get back in bed, and just do this again tomorrow. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what it was tonight.
Leave the
Nothing went
Cowboys
our
to
way.
run. Leave the Cowboys to run a great week. Rangers win the World Series. Both the Longhorns and the Razorbacks won yesterday in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the same score, ironically, and 33-30. And
Yeah, we were 39-36.
okay, 39-36.
Close
Both won
though.
by 3
Yeah.
in overtime. And then Cowboys, I was like, man, this is what a weekend this would be to finish
Mm-hmm.
this way. If the Cowboys, and they almost did, had every opportunity to. Got outplayed in the second half, lost at the line of scrimmage,
Yep.
and lost the turnovers. But got our first question in. The question is, what did you think of Dak Prescott's performance? I mean, I thought he played well enough to win.
I do
I
too.
mean, I thought he played great, to be honest.
I think Dak played great. Dak played better than I think a lot of people thought he would. And I just, nothing you can do when you're on your back.
That's true. I mean, Terrence still you just got to do better.
I mean,
Got to do better.
374 and 3 TDs with no turnovers. Pretty good.
Yeah, 115 rating. I mean, it's just the 5 sacks for 41 yards. I mean, that just hurts us big time. We had 7 more first downs than they did. We were 6 of 15 on third down, 3 of 5 on fourth down. But they were 50% on third down, 7 of 14, of course, 2 of 2 on fourth down. They have the tush push. I mean, I don't know how you stop it.
Dude.
I really don't. I thought of that. Within 3 yards.
An injury. They have to beat themselves basically through last week. Remember, they fumbled the snap. They didn't get it then. But other than that injury, you heard Jason Kelsey talk about he doesn't like it because all the weight that's on him. I mean, you've seen guys try to go over the top. It doesn't work. You've seen try to mash them in the middle and meet them force to force. Doesn't work. I don't know how you stop it. It's insanely effective. I mean, I wish and you'd think it's so simple. Well, why don't you just do it? We line up and try to do it, and it don't work. It just
you
it
saw
don't
us
work.
do it. We were terrible. Man, looking at these team stats, this is really heartbreaking. Jimmy, we had 406 total yards to their 292.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 5.8 yards of play to their 4.9. We gained a whole yard more per play than they did. Time of possession was basically even. They had it for like 30 more seconds than we did. Penalties, same number of penalties. We had 83 yards. They had 98 yards. Both had 10 penalties. Just one turnover. The sacks at crucial times killed us. And not getting points in the second half. Only getting the one touchdown in the second half really hurt us.
Yeah, that's what hurt, man. That was not oh man. I like the aggressiveness on fourth down. You've got to match it. You've got to show them you're willing to go for it, and then you execute it. And that's where it was like, okay, we kept the pressure on them the entire game. The pressure was on Philly. And we just frustratingly couldn't pull it out.
We got a question from DC4L Cowgirl. Why our boys seem they can never win on the road? I don't have a good answer there. 49ers, we stunk it up. Eagles had a chance to win, didn't win.
Yeah,
I
we
wonder if it has anything to do with playing on grass. Because you play at home, you playing on turf.
mhm.
But you look, I mean, our yards today were off. Like I said, we have 406 yards, 1392. So we moved the ball in the grass.
Yeah, I wonder if we're just one of those teams that feeds off the atmosphere. I don't know. Like you said, I don't have a good answer. We don't like hostile environment, and apparently. So,
But the thing of it is, we showed up today. Like
mhm,
we were locked in. We played well. I mean, we for the most part we played well. I mean, I really think you could make an argument we outplayed them. They were just a little bit more clutch than we were, and that was the difference. I mean, the main difference,
mhm.
line of scrimmage, they were better. They had more sacks, and they created the turnover.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, they just made plays when it counted. It seemed stuff went their way. There was missed calls on both sides. It seemed like Philly's O line was moving early a lot. They never called it. Parsons on that hold that was egregious. But then, like I said, there's stuff on that they got called for that, and we didn't get called for and stuff. So I'm like, I just like the frustration. Word of the night, frustration.
Yeah, a couple more questions here. G Riddles, I would rather play without a right tackle than see Terrence Steele play again. I mean, he was
Bold
pretty bad.
strategy, Cotton.
That's bold strategy. Just yeah, I mean, he was not good. I mean, he cost us the game
No.
because the Eagles, they came up clutch. They had to have a sack. We drove it all the way down, like we said. First and
Hmm.
goal from the 6, 27 seconds. What do the Eagles do? They came up clutch. They get a sack. The one thing we couldn't have happen is get a
Hmm.
sack, and it cost us. It was the game. It was the difference in
Yeah.
the game. Giving up that sack, we got all down to 6 with no timeouts, 27 seconds. George Leonardo asks, should we have kicked field goal instead of throwing to Shoemaker? I say no, because what ended up happening, we got it all the way down, and Shoemaker didn't score. We ended up getting the ball right back
Hmm.
and going down and throwing the touchdown to Tolbert. So I think we ended up getting the 6 out of the deal because they were backed up and Philadelphia
Hmm.
couldn't get the first down. So that one ended up it cost us time, but I think it only cost us like 3 minutes maybe of
Yeah.
game time, which maybe we could have used there at the end. Um, I say no, but I think an argument definitely could be made to take the 3 there, which would have made it a 28-20 game. And then
Hmm.
you'd have had to get a 2-point conversion either way. Of course, we didn't make it, but it worked out in our favor because we got good field position, got the ball back, went down and scored a touchdown. But I don't know what you think, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think it worked out that time. Like I said, there's definitely an argument, which I am usually on the side of always take the points, take the points. But like you said, I mean, Philly was on their own goal line basically, and we, when they lined up and first play right out of the gate was the tush push. I said, "Oh, okay, good. We might actually stop them and get this ball back pretty good field position." Because I thought that's basically just wasting it down. And like you said, we did throw the touchdown to Tolbert, and it worked out. But
Yeah. A couple more questions before we get out of here. Got Mass Carter. We did show up today. We win in a couple weeks. Dak played well. Has 100% confidence in him this season. I agree. If he can play like that every week, you got to have
yeah,
confidence. Great point, Grayson Riddles. We talked about him stepping out on the 2-point conversion. Grayson says, "I wish you were a size 10 instead of a 13." It's a good point.
it's a good point. Yeah,
Blame his genetics for having too big of feet stepping out.
break his feet,
That
send him
that
to
cost us the game. We'd have been in overtime at least if we get that 2-point, kick the field goal.
yep, send him to ancient China, have him bind his feet. Foot's like that
Yeah.
big, then he don't step out.
Anyway, Cowboys lose. Frustrating one, 28-23. Chance to win,
Hands
take control of
Japan,
the division,
my fault.
and unbelievable. Just frustrating. Eagles won 2023. We're like they said on the broadcast a couple times, we're 2.5 games back. Got to find a way
Mhm.
to make up with it. Like we said, Eagles got 5 games in a row against playoff caliber teams. We have 3 basically cupcakes. We should win all 3, and then we have a stretch. So it's gonna who wins this division is how each performs. Only problem is we got to perform at least 1 game better, and then win the rematch to have a chance to win the division and have the number 1
You,
seed. Because I think whoever wins this division is the number 1 seed in the NFC.
yeah, I agree. And, if you're for Philly, like you said, like you're going, well, 49ers, Cowboys, we need the 49ers to figure it out like they did against us, against Philly, to, kind of be one of those games that they lose. So right now, the 49ers look vulnerable. Anyone can beat them. But then you see the injury bug go through Goddard, several people in the secondary. They all, Fletcher Cox, they all came back out and played, but except Goddard. But losing Goddard would be a big blow, and then the secondary guys for Philly. So they may not even be the same team by the time we play them here in a few weeks.
No kidding. No kidding. All right, that's gonna do it for us here. Gridiron Grind live post game show. Cowboys fall to the Eagles 28-23. Next week, Cowboys at the Giants. So we'll see how that one goes. But anyway,
Hopefully.
we will we might not be able to do a live post game show next week. So we'll keep you updated. Let's do the grind this week. I might have a conflict. I might not be able to do it, but this is the grind. College podcast will come out Wednesday this week. Cowboys NFL podcast will come out on Thursday. Apple Podcast and our YouTube channel, Grind Sports. So tune into that. We'll let you know about the live post game show this week. It is tentative for next week. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again later this week on the Gridiron Grind. Jimmy, we'll see you.
See you, buddy.